Hello, stamping friends. It's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and as always, I would love to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. We are here again today with a live class featuring the Dragonfly Garden Bundle. This is a stamp set and punch bundle that I've had for quite a while, and I have yet to share it with you just because I wasn't too thrilled about the paper that was with the suite. Let's be honest, sometimes there's certain papers you like and certain papers you don't like. I was not as excited with the paper in the suite, so I kind of kept putting it off. But then I paired it with a whole different designer series paper pack, and I loved it. So I've created cards for you today. We're actually doing 5 fun fold cards. It might take a little longer than normal for this class because they're all specialty cards, but I wanted to share 2 versions of each of those, one in the paper that I love and then the other in the paper that comes with the suite. So you can get an idea of how to use it both ways. So we're going to work on that today. That'll be so much fun. But before we do that, just a few reminders as we finish out this year's catalog and transition into the new catalog starting next week. So don't forget, right now we're in our last chance retired list promotion, and you need to look at that list if you haven't yet, see which ones of your favorites are going to be gone. There's all kinds of things on that list, many of which have sold out already. Everything is while supplies last. Some of the items are discounted up to 60% off, so you'll definitely want to check that out. And all of those are good through May 3rd only. And then they're gone for good. Then they're retired and you won't be able to purchase them anymore. So check out that list. You can go to toocoolstamping.com to see the complete list and print it out if you want to. Then on May 4th, that's when the new catalog comes out. If you are a current customer of mine, I sent out catalogs and you should be receiving those if you haven't already. If you do want a catalog, just let me know and let me know your address and I will get one out to you. And again, that starts on May 4th. So exciting. Tons of new stamp sets, tons of new dies and papers and all kinds of things you're going to want to see. So I'm excited that that is going to be happening. Now, along with that, there's going to be 2 special promotions happening beginning May 4th. And you're going to want to know about them because they're going to help you save on all of those items on your wish list. So if you're planning on placing a larger order, if you have a lot of things on your wish list, and you know when you have bundles that you want, that adds up kind of fast, right? So there's a couple of different promotions that Stampin' Up! Is going to be offering on May 4th that you can take advantage of that can really save you money. And I'm just going to give you a quick summary of them, but look for more details on my blog on May 4th, 2021, and you can find that at toocoolstamping.com. So the first promotion is a host promotion, and that means when you have a workshop where either you can get all your friends and order together, if you have a workshop of $250 or more, or if you place an individual order of $250 or more, and that's not too hard to reach that number when you have a new catalog. If you get to that $250 mark, you get an additional $25, sorry, $25 in Stampin' Rewards. So you're already going to be earning Stampin' Rewards dollars with an order or workshop of $150 or more. You earn 10% of that order back in Stampin' Reward dollars to spend on additional free product. During this promotion, you get an additional $25. So that's going to really stretch those dollars, allow you to buy a lot more from that new catalog, and that is very exciting. So look for more details at toocoolstamping.com on May 4th. The other incentive that's happening is to join my Too Cool Stamping team, and that is going to be a special promotion that begins on May 4th as well. For that one, normally if you purchase a starter kit for $99, you can choose $125 worth of merchandise and you get free shipping on that, so you're only paying tax in your state, and that's a great deal in and of itself. But during this special Join Plus promotion, you will have an additional $30 that you can spend in free product. So you only spend $99 to get that starter kit, and you can select up to $155 worth of product of your choice. Any new items that you want from the new catalog. So that is a really fantastic deal. That'll be a great way that you can save. Now remember, you always get free shipping on that $99 starter kit, only paid tax, and it allows you to join the Stampin' Up! Family and My Too Cool team, which means you get an ongoing discount for all of your upcoming orders. So you know you're gonna love that, because you know you're gonna have more orders as you fall in love with more and more products from the catalog. So again, more details, complete details will be on my website, toocoolstamping.com, on May 4th. Okay, a couple more things I wanted to just mention. Last week, I introduced my paper share. Actually, it was earlier this week, just a few days ago. The paper share is available. You can reserve your spot if you want to try out all of the different papers. And like I said, what I'm working on today, I didn't really like one of the papers. It's a whole lot better when you have those papers in your hands, and you can make your own decisions about what you want to purchase larger quantities of. So I have a paper share. You get samples of all of the new papers from the new catalog, 6x6 size, and I also have some bonus items in there too. So if you are interested in that, you can reserve your spot now. You don't pay until we get a group of 8. Once we get a group of 8 together, you'll all share that paper, and I will send out invoices so that you pay then. If you sign up now, it's going to give you the best chance of getting all of the papers without any delay. There's always a chance that some of these papers are so popular that they might go into back order very soon after the catalog is released. So I like to order right away as soon as that catalog is available on May 4th. So I encourage you to sign up by May 3rd. That way I know who wants to be involved, and I can get those papers ordered right away. I'm still gonna have it open after that. You can still be a part of it after that, but there's always a chance of some kind of a delay if something sells out quickly, because it's just amazingly popular. So sign up. You can go to toocoolstamping.com to reserve your spot. Also, I've had many questions about whether I'm doing my In Color Club, and yes, I will be doing that again this year. We've done it for many, many years. And I will have details about that after May 4th. So once the catalog is released, we'll talk about those in colors, and I'll give you all the details about how that club is run and how you can join as a group of, join in groups of 5 and share you kind of get all the different colors, one color per month. So I'll have all the details about that again on May 4th. So exciting, lots of exciting stuff when a new catalog hits. I love this time of year. So much fun. Okay, let's get going with our projects, because we have lots to do, lots of fun fancy folds, and some really, really sweet projects. I'm going to turn the camera around, so hold on. And we're going to have a free class available with this, so you'll want to make sure that you place a minimum order by next Wednesday, May 5th, and you'll want to use the host code 4JSXB36X. That will get you a free 5-card class kit of all of the supplies that you need to make the cards that I'll be sharing with you today. All right, first of all, let's talk about the Dragonfly Garden Bundle. That is a beautiful stamp set. It's a perfect time of year for that, since we're in spring, going into summer. I love these dragonfly images, just so pretty. Some wildflowers here and some beautiful sentiments. So I love this stamp set. The bundle also comes with a punch that has a size for the large butterfly or the large dragonfly, as well as a cute little tiny dragonfly that you can punch out in any cardstock or paper. So I love that. This is a product that was featured in our mini catalog that's currently going on, and this goes on through the end of June. And this catalog also features another coordinating stamp set. We're not going to be using this one today. I just wanted to focus on the Dragonfly Garden Bundle, but the Garden Wishes Bundle is also available and has some beautiful dandelions. The die set is really, really gorgeous, lots of different shapes. So you can see that on page 26 and 27 of the current mini catalog, and it will be available, including the bundles, at the discounted price in the new catalog. So that is always fantastic. All right, we are going to, I can't remember, I wanted to see what our paper was called. This is called the Dandy Garden paper. So this is the paper that, it's a 6x6 pack of designer series paper. I love the dragonflies, but I wasn't really too hot about all the dandelions and just some of the imagery. It's just a personal preference. I don't like saying that I don't like paper, but it's just, I think the colors and some of the things just were not my favorite. I was having trouble getting creative with them. So I love they have bees, lots of fun different designs. And these are the kind of the more bolder designs. And then the other side, you get 48 sheets in a pack for each of 12 designs. So I like this side a little bit better just because they're not quite as bold. So I did a lot of our projects today in these more kind of more subdued colors, and you'll see those as we do each project. So I know there's many of you who love this paper, and if you do, you can see the projects that I'm working on, and you can, you know, replicate those with these papers. Now, to make me more excited about doing these projects, I decided to select a different paper, and this is the Peony Garden paper. We've used this before in a different class, but I just had to use it one more time before it was retired and gone for good. It's still available, but only through May 3rd and while supplies last only. But I love these patterns, and I love that it's just 3 different colors basically: the petal pink, the gray granite, and the basic gray. So you have, this is all I have left of this one particular one. I need to buy some more to get our class kits made. But I love this one, and some pretty corresponding colors on the back. Just beautiful imagery, kind of a sketched look, a little bit different than some of our watercolored looks that we've had in the past. So I really love the palette and I love the imagery. So I thought that would look really amazing with our Dragonfly Garden stamp set. So that's what I'm focusing on today. We're gonna get started. And again, we're doing all fancy folds. So you can do this style of card with, you can replicate it and use any kind of paper that you like. All right, so the first one's gonna be kind of a modified joy fold card. So let me give you the measurements of our first piece here. This card base is going to be 8 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then I've scored it at 3 1/4. Or if you look at it this way, it's at 5 1/2. Okay, so we're going to fold this, and this is going to be half of our card base. We'll set that aside. The other half of our card base is an 8 1/2 by 3 piece of petal pink, and then I've scored that at 4 1/4. So this is kind of a standard overlapping, interlocking type of a fold. Now a lot of times we do it this way. We're going to kind of do it backwards. So I'm going to start out by creating a little frame, a little layer for a frame behind our folded card base. So first I'll put that in here, center it, and then I'm going to take this one and add it to that frame layer. And you want it to fold like opens like a book. Okay, so now these are going to overlap and interlock that way. All right, let's decorate the front two flaps. So this first flap here, I have a piece of the Peony Garden. This is 4 by 2 3/4. Beautiful, beautiful floral. And then this other flap is going to be a 3 by 4 inch piece, also with one of the petal pink patterns. Comes together so quickly. Whoops, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Now let's give it some focal points. We're going to, the other thing I had to use one more time was the fabulous Stitch Shapes framelits or Stitch Shapes dies. I love these dies and they are going for good. And I'm so sad because they have all the basic shapes. And unfortunately, they're already sold out. So if you didn't get yours, then you're kind of out of luck. But I did want to use them one more time. One last project. So I have a circle here with basic white. I'm just going to pop that up onto my card front. All right. And then next, let's see, I have one of these. Yep, I have one piece here. That's a 4 by 2 3/4. That's going to go on the inside. Here's my little scrap piece. Whoops, I keep folding that wrong. And I'm going to stamp one of the dragonflies on there. Now there's 2 dragonflies, and the difference is very subtle. The one has kind of more of a solid body, and the wings, the kind of the veins in the wings go in a horizontal direction. The other one has more of an open outline for the body, and then the wings have kind of a pattern that goes more vertical or diagonal. So just a subtle difference, but it does kind of make a difference. I chose the one with the solid. Since we're using a light color, I wanted it to show up as much as possible. So petal pink, and then we'll use our Dragonflies punch to, I just made that up just a teeny bit too high, so I need to cut that off. There we go. Center that and punch it. I love a punch, it's so fast and easy. And then we're going to add that to our circle. Now, because they're dragonflies, and I don't know about you, but dragonflies kind of have a shimmery look to me. So I like to put a little bit of Wink of Stella on the, they have like iridescent wings. So make them a little magical and add some of that beautiful Wink of Stella shimmer. And I'm going to do that on all of my dragonflies. I don't know if that's showing up, but it's so, so pretty. Okay, there's part of it. I've already pre-punched a little tiny dragonfly out of vellum. So we're going to add him with a glue dot. And just put him right there. And we're going to add some jewels in a minute. Let's get our sentiment. I have a little strip here of, I think it's, what is it? It's 5/8 inch wide strip. And we'll put For a True Friend. I love that one. And I'm just going to give you in the kit, I'll just give you a little strip so you can make it as long as you want to. I'm going to just do a little fishtail cut on the end here. And then I'm going to add it underneath this. I want to make sure it's all nice and tucked in there. So cut it however long you need it. Tuck it right in there. Oh, that's so cute. All right, we're going to finish up with some, I love these. The Elegant Faceted Gems come in that same Peony Garden suite. and they go beautifully with all of these cards. So I'm going to add a few of these petal pink gems. This one's going to go right over that glue dot on my little mini dragonfly. If you want, you could kind of pop his little wings up a little bit. And there you have it. There is our Joy Fold card. Now, if you want to do the inside, I already have one that's done here, and you can just add some additional little dragonflies and another sentiment on the inside to finish it up. So, so pretty. Okay, then for our Too Cool version, I used that Dragonfly or Dandy Garden Designer Series paper. So I just chose one of the, or two of the Misty Moonlight patterns. Love that color. And did my butterfly all in the same kind of a monochromatic style. I used regular rhinestones and just colored those with the Misty Moonlight Stampin' Blends marker. So super quick and super cute. All right, this is the one that's going to come in your kit. Okay. Next up, for our next fancy fold card, we're going to do a Z-fold card. This one starts with gray granite. It's going to be 8.5 by 5.5. It's scored at 4 1/4 and then also at 2 1/8. That it's going to allow us to do a nice Z fold. So fold it in half and then fold it back on itself. And you want to make sure that this fold is nice and creased so that it lays as flat as possible. So really get that point of your bone folder in there and crease it nicely. Okay, there is our base. We're going to decorate that. This is a 1 7/8 by 5 1/4 inch piece of the Peony Garden paper. That paper is beautiful. I just absolutely love it. All right, next we're going to stamp a little background here. So we're going to start with, we're going to use the other dragonfly this time, and gray granite. And before we do that, actually, let's do the sentiment so we can get some positioning. So this is, may good things grow all year long. We're going to put that right there in the corner. And then we're going to add a little butterfly, or dragon, I keep calling it a butterfly, a dragonfly here, as well as right there. And then I also want these little tiny dragonflies. I like those too. I'm going to stamp off and make those a little bit lighter. Just barely give it a little bit of a pattern. Just in a few areas. That's really pretty. Okay, next we're going to layer that. I think I didn't tell you what this is. I think it's a 3 by 4 inch piece of basic white. We're layering that onto a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 petal pink. And then just a simple front to that. We're going to add some dimensionals to do that so that we know how far over to have those. We always do a little 180 flip. And then we know exactly where we're going to be adding those dimensionals so that we don't stick it down on the inside of the card by accident. Not that I've ever done that before. You've probably seen me. Okay. Stick that. And I made this so that it's pretty even all the way around 3 sides and a little bit more down here, just so it gives it kind of a heavier, it's kind of a design thing, so it's a little heavier at the bottom. All right, we're gonna add another little dragonfly to that. So we're gonna stamp that same dragonfly again in gray granite on scrap. This time we're going to use this little image, which is the wings. It's to fill in the wings with just a little bit of color. So I'm going to use the petal pink, and I'm going to stamp off once just to give it a slight color. Flip it over. It doesn't match up exactly, but it's not supposed to. It's not meant to do it exactly. All right, we'll use that Dragonfly's punch to punch that out, and then pop that right up on our card front. Just gonna add a little double layer there. Of course, we want some Wink of Stella. Give it a little bit of shimmer. If you wanted to, you could add petal pink to both, but I like just having kind of a spotlighted dragonfly there. And then for the inside, you can decorate it. Excuse me. I just had a little stamp here. Might as well put that on there really quick. Again, this is another 3 by 4 inch piece. We'll add a little seal. And then I'll show you how to put this on the inside of the card so that it lines up perfectly. So you just want to open this up and then seal side up. You're going to center it in that front layer and then just close your card. That way you know that it's going to be nice and covered by that Z fold front. Let's finish up with just a few of the elegant gems. This time we're going to use those clear ones, clear faceted ones, so pretty. All right, that'll finish up that card. I love it. So let me show you my other version. This one is almost identical. We're just using a different card base. I used Calypso Coral. I used one of the Dandy Garden Designer Series papers, and everything else is the same. I use the same petal pink. I stamped the dragonfly on the inside, but other than that, it's the same, but still a completely different look. All right, this is the one that we're going to have in our free kit. All right, let's move on to the third fancy fold card. This one starts out with a, let's see, it's a 10 3/4, so almost a full sheet by 5 1/2 piece of basic white, and then I have scored it at the 4 1/4 and then also the 8 1/2 mark. So we're going to just fold this all up. And again, use the corner, the end point of your bone folder to really crease that. So there is our card base. It's a little bit different than normal. The inside is going to have a little pocket. So let's just finish that up really quickly. I'm going to use some tear and tape. And I want to let you know something about tear and tape that I just realized. I saw that the tear and tape was on the Last Chance Retired list, and I was sad about that because it's perfect for little pockets like this so that you don't use up too much of the edge. You have more pocket space. But what I found out was there is still tear and tape in the new catalog. They just changed the packaging and they had to change the item number. So it's not really going anywhere. You know what? That was totally wrong. I should have not. I just cut my I just taped my pocket. Did you see what I did that? Because when you go like this, then I won't have a pocket because I put, don't do that. I'm just going to cut this off and make it shorter. Whee! Because I'm talking about tear and tape. Now it's all sticking. There we go. There's always a way to fix it. All right, so a little bit shorter pocket, but now it actually is a pocket. I almost really screwed up there. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, so what we were gonna do, but now it's not gonna fit, is we're gonna decorate that. Actually, it just barely fits. So let's put that on there. It just barely fits. Make sure it's the same. Yes, it is. Okay. So there is a little decoration for the pocket. Now let's work on the outside. The outside has a piece of gray granite. It's 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to add the same piece that we had on the inside to the outside. So we'll put that right along the bottom. And then we're going to add a sentiment. This time it's going to be an inspiration. And that's in gray granite. And then we'll put that right on our card front. Beautiful. We're going to use some gray granite ribbon, shimmer ribbon. I'm just going to tie that in a knot, so I'm just tying that right around the card front in a little knot, make a little faux bow. And then we'll trim that off. Move that over a little bit and just put that right along the top of that designer series paper. Kind of gives it a nice finished look. All right, next we have a little layering squares, gray granite die cut, as well as a little 2 1/4 inch square piece that I have already embossed with the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. You can just barely see that subtle, pretty texture. That will be retiring, along with, I'm pretty sure the layering squares are too. All the good basics. Very sad. But there'll be so many new things that we can play with. All right, so this is just going to be another little popped up element here. We'll add some dimensionals. And I'm not adding in any to the center there because I don't want to add any where that ribbon is. It's going to go right over that ribbon. And then we'll finish up with a little scrap of the gray granite and the solid bodied dragonfly. We'll just stamp that in gray granite over the top. Punch that out. Pop that up. You can see there's kind of a theme here, very easy to make a little focal point. The shimmer on this, the Wink of Stella shimmer, looks absolutely gorgeous on that gray granite paper. It just really sparkles and it looks really nice with the shimmer ribbon. So I don't know if you can see that, whether the light picks that up, but it's so, so pretty. Hopefully you can see that. We'll finish up with just a few more of the elegant faceted gems. This time we're using the frosted ones. So you're getting a lot of use out of these because they just go with that paper perfectly. All right, so there is our third card with a little pocket. You could put a little gift card in there. So, so cute. All right, I did a Dandy Garden version of it. So this one is with Blackberry Bliss, the Blackberry Bliss striped ribbon, Blackberry Bliss ink. I used Mossy Meadow and the Bumblebee paper with that beautiful dragonfly I keep forgetting the name of it. The Dandy Garden Designer Series paper. I do love this pattern a lot. Very, very pretty. And then when you open it up, same. And then I would also probably put a piece of white up there, obviously, so that you could write on it, but it has a nice little pocket there too. Did I do it? Oh my gosh, that's where I did that. I actually didn't make my pocket on that one. You guys, oh. Well, anyway, it's a nice pretty border on the inside. Don't make that mistake. Apparently, it was just how I was making the cards. Crazy. All right, so this one's gonna be in your kit. All right, let's go for the fourth fun fold today. This one starts with a 4.5 by 11 inch piece. Is it 11? Let me make sure. Yep, 11. And then it's going to be scored at the 2 3/4 as well as the 8 1/4 inch marks. So we're just kind of making a gatefold, only it's going to be a vertical instead of horizontal gatefold. So once you put one side down, when you do this side, line up those edges nice and flush, and then do your folding and your creasing with your foam folder. That way you know that those edges are going to match up nicely. So we're going to do it this way. It's going to be a vertical opening. I have 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper here, the Peony Garden paper, and let me give you the measurements. 4 by 2.5. One will decorate the top. And the other will decorate the bottom. Okay, next we're going to have a little piece here of basic white. This is 3 by 4. And this time we're going to stamp with that pretty floral image. We're going to do that in gray granite. We're going to stamp 1 on the left side, and then again on the right, just a little bit lower. Kind of cover that all up. Then, for some reason, I didn't bring my Stampin' Blends markers over here, but you want to use your Stampin' Blends markers to color in that front. So I used the Petal Pink and Gray Granite, and that's all I used. And I just colored in the flowers. I colored in some of these other tall sprigs of flowers, and then the leaves, the larger leaves, I colored in with the light Gray Granite Stampin' Blends markers. So that is what that looks like. Let's finish this card up. You actually wouldn't even have to add that. I just really like those, just a little pop of that Petal Pink. I can't believe I didn't bring my markers over here. I thought about, oh, don't forget to bring those markers. But I didn't. They're clear on the other side of the room, and who knows where. If you saw my desk over there, you would know it'd be impossible to find it. All right, so we have a little piece of the Gray Granite shimmer ribbon. This piece is going to layer onto a piece of Gray Granite. And then again, we're going to pop that up, this time only onto the top portion. So we'll flip that over 180 and put our dimensionals on here. And then pop that right up. I don't really mind it with that, just all Gray Granite. It's kind of fun. So I love that opening. We're going to finish up with a little sentiment here. This is a 2.5 by 7/8. And we'll stamp that in gray granite as well. Thank you for your kindness. And then use just a couple dimensionals here to pop that up. And we'll add that right at the bottom here, just kind of hanging over the edge just a little bit for some interest. And then finish up again with some more of our elegant faceted gems. So pretty. All right. So it's another version, right? I do like it better with the petal pink. Just gives it just a little bit of extra pizzazz, I think. And then don't forget to finish up the inside with a little bit of, you know, the little dragonflies. Those are fun for the inside, and another sentiment. All right, let's look at the Too Cool version. I did that one in Bumblebee color with some of the Dandy Garden Designer Series paper. I used my Stampin' Blends with, I think I used Mango Melody actually, some Pear Pizzazz and some Pumpkin Pie. And I also used some in color enamel dots for fun, and some soft suede for the middles of the flowers and also the sentiment. So that's a fun one. And that is our fourth card. We have one more. And this one is a little easel card. I haven't made one of these in a while, so I thought it'd be fun to do this. And it takes just a little bit of extra cutting. So let me tell you how to put this together. This is just a standard basic white card base that is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. But then you want to do some cutting on your Stampin' trimmer. So you want to cut in 1.5 inches, go clear down to that middle score line. And then I just flipped it over and did it again on the other side. So you have 2 flaps here. And then you also want a score line right in the center of this middle flap. So this is going to be at the 1 1/8 mark. So that will fold like so. Okay, so we're going to start by adding a little centerpiece. This is Smoky Slate. It's 3 by 4. And we're going to add that right to the middle. So you kind of want to center it in between the score line and the bottom, give it a little bit of edge there, and then between the 2 trim marks. Then we're going to adhere these 2 little arms down to the base. So we'll bring that down. We're going to make sure it's nice and flush. And then you might even want to use your bone folder again to recrease that. Make sure it's nice and flush on the edges. There we go. So there is our card front. A little bit different than what we've ever done before. Let me crease this again. There we go. All right, now let's do some decoration. I have some Peony Garden Designer Series paper. These are 1 1/4 by 4. And I cut 2 of those so we can decorate both sides of this little card base. All right, and then we also want to decorate those. So I have another, this is a basic gray pattern to match this basic gray pattern. This is 2 1/4 by 2. And we, again, cut 2 of those so we can add them to each side. There we go. Now we're going to make this a little easel card. So let's do our sentiment. I have a piece here that is 3 1/4 by 7/8. And we're going to use that same, if I can find it, here we go. Our same thank you that we just used on the previous one. Thank you for your kindness. This is going to be stamped right in the center. Oops, that's a little bit crooked. Let's try again. There we go, that's a little better. We're going to use our paper snips to fishtail cut the edges. So I'm going to go up the center and then corner to center. Just give it a little banner tail on each side. And then we'll add a couple of dimensionals here. Couple 3, as my mom would have said, couple 3. Because a couple's 2 and 3's like a few, but you know. All right, so for this, I'm gonna just add this maybe a 1/4 inch above the edge here. And that's going to create a little base for that to kind of rest on so that that easel will stand up there. All right, we're gonna finish up with a little focal point. I need to clean my stamp off, my little wildflower stamp. So I'm gonna squish it on my Simply Chamois, and then we can use some petal pink. I already have my stitch shapes circle ready to go. And I just want to add a little bit of flowers right to the top here. So pretty. We're going to add that right on top of this base. So just a little bit of seal. All right, and then you can see how when you send it, you can fold it down, and then they can stand it up and set it on their desk. Then we also have just a little tiny punch out here from our Dragonfly's Punch with that smoky slate paper. We're going to add that with a glue dot. And we'll just, I think, put him like this. I'm going to add a little elegant gem, of course. And then I wanted to finish it up. I felt like it needed something, when it's closed like this, I felt like it needed something up here. So I have some of the petal pink organdy striped ribbon. And I thought I'll just tie that up here. Gives it a little bit of texture when it's closed, and also makes it pretty from the back when it's open. So again, we're just going to tie this in a double knot. Nothing too fancy. And we'll kind of push this over on this side. So now it can mail like this, and then it will stand up on your desk like this. You can add a little bit of the Wink of Stella, give it a little shimmer, and then you have plenty of space in there that you can write as well. All right. And actually, now that I look at it, when I did my other one, you probably, because everything else is the basic gray, I did this in gray granite, but you want to do it in the basic gray so that it matches if you like to have perfection. So that is my original one. Let me show you the Too Cool version. This one, I used the Blackberry Bliss Dandy Garden paper and white. And then I used a brand new in color, Fresh Freesia. And here is some of the new ribbon that's available. That looks really pretty with it. And I stamped the flowers in the Fresh Freesia. That's hard to say. I also used a Fresh Freesia rhinestone. So that's new as well. And then the inside, I used the Fresh Freesia cardstock and Blackberry Bliss for the sentiment. Super, super cute. So those are our two cool versions of that final card. let me get all of our cards back here, the ones that you'll be creating with your 5-card kit. So these clean up my mess. These are all of the different cards that you'll be creating. Let me get this all in the camera here so you can see. You'll get all the parts and pieces. You just need to add the Dragonfly Garden Bundle so that you can have all of the images and all of the inks and the punch that you need. And everything else is going to be provided, including the elegant dots, the ribbon, all of the pre-cut and pre-die cut layers and pieces that you need for this free class. You can earn this free class with just a minimum $35 order at toocoolstamping.com. Click on the Shop Now link. It will take you there. There's also going to be a link in the description on this post as well. So you can check that out. Be sure to use the host code at checkout. There's a little box you want to put the host code. Very important, so I know which free kit that you are interested in. 4JSB36X is what you need to type in there. And this offer will be available until next Wednesday, May 5th. So if you want to order last chance items, you can do that. Or if you want to wait until the new catalog comes out on May 4th, you can wait for that as well. So check it out. And don't forget to place your minimum $35 order using that host code to get this free class from me. And those will go out the following Monday. So I don't have a date on that. What is that? The 10th, I believe. So just right after Mother's Day. So these are some really pretty cards. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it. I hope that you love the Peony Garden version that I decided to do instead of the Dandy Wishes one, or Dandy Garden. I can't remember the name of that for the life of me. The Dandy Garden one. But I hope that you really have enjoyed that. I really loved it when I put that paper together with that bundle. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate you spending time with me and getting creative. If you're watching the replay, thanks for taking the time to do that as well. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. We're going to be talking about products from the new catalog, including all of the new in colors. So you're not going to want to miss that. I will see you then next Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, you can find out any details you need to know about for the Last Chance Retired list and the new catalog at my website, toocoolstamping.com. All right, everybody, have a great week. So good to be with you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.